Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick with CBT News. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. On March 6th, Jeff Wyler Automotive Family completed their first new car sale 100% online. That's right, I said 100% online with Wyler Complete, a first in the U.S. Here to tell us more about the significance of that transaction is Kevin Frye, Marketing Director at Jeff Wyler Automotive Family, and also Paulo da Silva, who's the VP of Operations for Cox Automotive Ecommerce. Thank you both for joining us today. We very much appreciate it. I know a lot of dealers are going to tune into this and take a listen and say, okay, now we've heard it all. We've heard Kevin speak at every conference in the industry. He does a phenomenal job, but now he's on to something even bigger. So Kevin, tell us, what's this all about? And it's an industry first. What happened here?
Well, simply put, we sold the very first new car 100% online with a true transactional e-commerce experience. And this is not only a first for Jeff Wyler, but it is a first in the automotive industry. It is truly a groundbreaking moment. And so we're excited to join you today.
But Kevin, how is this different from Tesla or Rivian, who already sell new cars online, or even Carvana for that matter? I mean, that's the used car side.
That is a great question for all of us in the industry. And let me emphasize first, the outside providers and outside solutions have done a great job making consumers feel like they bought 100% online. But there's one big and tremendous difference, and that is this. They still had to interact with either a call center or a live human being that would either approve, disapprove, and complete the deal for them. An analogy I would give you, Jim, would be, for example, if you went to Amazon to buy a book, you clicked on buy, and instead of getting a confirmation, you would get a message that said, hey, hold on or stand by for 24 to 48 hours, and we'll let you know if you really bought this car. The best way I can demonstrate the difference is actually our first customer. They bought the car at 11:15 at night when both the dealerships were closed and the banks were closed.
Wow.
And they did this without any human intervention. They're able to start and complete the entire transaction with an e-commerce shopping cart experience. That is what makes this truly groundbreaking.
Oh, there's no question about it. So now every dealer is thinking, I can make money while I'm sleeping. People can, and as you know, people, that's when I shop for things. You know, for big ticket items or what have you. I'm busy during the day, as most people are. But man, come 7, 8 o'clock after dinner, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a look at that boat that I'm looking at, or whatever the case might be. And if they can carry that transaction all the way through, you know, then man, that you've just scored big time with that, right? Yeah, that's fantastic. So Paulo, let me ask you, Cox Automotive's e-commerce capability has been in the market for a couple of years now, but focused on used only. Why did you start with used first and not new?
Well, Jim, used cars come with their own complexities, right? And as you know, the condition of the vehicle is a big variable as consumers are assessing the purchase. You also have a lot of consumers who want to test drive the car. And so that introduces some complexities. But on the flip side, we think that used car transactions are easier to orchestrate relative to a new car transaction. And we'll get more into that, hopefully, as the conversation evolves. But within new cars, the big things are, you know, figuring out how do we manage incentives, how do we manage subvention, how do we manage the involvement of captives and support their processes. And then obviously you have the complexity of leasing, which we all felt made sense to come after we figured out the foundational structure of the product, which is the used car capability. So new car is just an extension, if you will, of our used car capability. And we expect to see a big lift in conversion rates because some of those factors that are so critical in used cars are not necessarily real for new cars, right? You have more confidence in the condition of the vehicle and the warranty that the manufacturer provides.
That's right. That's right. Paulo, what's happening behind the scenes to make the transaction happen without the consumer directly interacting with someone from the dealership?
Well, a lot. And that's what makes this so exciting and so hard to do. You know, e-commerce is always on. You know, you have to be able to close a deal at any time, even at 11:15 p.m. on a Wednesday, like in Wyler's case. And the consumer needs to be able to basically work through the whole deal on their own. So we built a lot of tech and AI to automate steps of the journey that would normally be done by the dealership. And so think about it as like two fundamental phases to the process.
Mhm.
The first one is when the consumers is shopping, is self-structuring the deal. So, consumer typically will go through a soft credit pull to get some, calculations of payments with
Mhm.
penny perfect precision. Consumer is able to add a trade-in and then work through the payoff quote and payoff amount. That's super accurate. And then we present a menu experience that leverages a lot of AI to provide recommendations to the consumer about the vehicle they're buying and their own specific situation. And once that's done, you go into this phase two where you're basically ready to just, send it home, get the deal done. And so that's where we come in and we bring a lot of e-commerce grade fraud and compliance capabilities, much more stringent than what you'd see typically in a store, because I'm not seeing this person and face to face, right?
Yeah.
We'll actually have to deliver the vehicle and we'll verify then, but you need to be able to verify identity, verify insurance with a lot more confidence than you would otherwise do in a store. You
Sure.
have to go through red flags, OFACs, and so on. And from there, work through financing in a fully automated fashion.
Mhm.
Create all the contracts, all the lender forms, dealer forms, aftermarket forms automatically in a matter of a couple minutes,
Wow.
and then collect on payments and schedule delivery. So when all said and done, we've had consumers buying a car in a matter of 15 minutes, soup to nuts, beginning to end,
Wow.
all the steps completed in 15 minutes.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, contrast that to the average based on Cox Automotive studies of 2 hours and 54 minutes in a store. It's a big efficiency gain for the dealer and improvement in experience by consumers.
That's right. How does the car, Kevin, get actually delivered to the consumer? And if they have a trade-in, how has that worked? I mean, talk to us about the logistics involved.
Well, they're going to have a choice. I mean, we can set up to either deliver to their home
Okay.
or deliver at the dealership. And one of the things we're seeing as part of this testing process is that over 60% of these 100% online deals are taking place outside of our traditional dealership footprint, about 23% over 250 miles away. So this is definitely a different way to broaden our market.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the trades, we're going to we're going to have a trade-in value provided as part of the solution. But of course, when we get it on site, we can look at a little bit closer from there as needed.
Paulo, is there any concern that there may be fraud involved in some of these deals because the person's never coming into the dealership? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so there's obviously, when you think about e-commerce, fraud is a concern across really any industry, right?
Sure.
Even Amazon or any other player would be concerned about fraud. I think
Right.
what we've done is we've gone out of our way to create really, incredible technology that allows us to have high confidence that you're dealing with someone who has a positive intent, who wants to conclude a deal, and it's a legitimate transaction. So, if you go through our experience, Jim, and hopefully you buy a car from Wyler, you see that you not only take a picture of your driver's license like you would do in a store, but we actually use that picture of a driver's license to perform over 50 verifications on your driver's license, bounce that information back against the DMV, verify the picture, and ask you to take a selfie and see if your selfie matches the picture in the driver's license. There's a lot that we do in here. When we ask for insurance verification, we don't just ask for you to upload the insurance card. We ask you to connect to your, insurance provider, be it Progressive or Allstate or what have you. You're able to log in, and we automatically go fetch the information from that provider.
Wow.
To give both parties confidence that this transaction is being performed by parties who are interested in the right thing.
That's fantastic. You've thought about everything. That's fantastic. Yeah. So Kevin, you've been using Cox Automotive Solutions for almost really a couple of years. What are the biggest learnings you've had so far?
Well, with this, for us, it's always about having flexibility and options for the modern day shopper. And this certainly fit the bill. And we see the 100% buying online solution as another channel to achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always looking to lead the industry as an innovator and be prepared for the future.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've learned, Jim, is that right now about 7% of shoppers are buying online. But consumer sentiment surveys are indicating that 21% or 3 times that amount want to buy 100% online in the future. So we want to lead and innovate and be best prepared. And that's why we partner with Cox Automotive to do this, to once again, always be as consumer facing as possible.
So this is a perfect question. And where is Wyler going next in this space?
Well, let me tell you where we're at right now. We currently have two solutions on our websites. We have a traditional digital retailing tool that is tremendously successful, where you can complete some or most of the car buying process online, but then work with a traditional showroom experience. And then we, of course, have Wyler Complete, where you can buy 100% online. My vision is that we just have one tool on the website that will give you the flexibility to go either way. So you can either complete some of it, go to showroom, or 100% of it. And with that type of approach, we're going to meet the demands and needs of 100% of our shoppers out there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Paulo, how about your team at Cox Automotive? Where do you go from here with e-commerce?
Well, it's amazing how Kevin describes exactly our vision, right? And what his wish list is definitely on our list as well, Jim. We're obviously very focused in, now completing the work on this new car capability. It's still in testing phases, right? We're testing it with one of our, best and most strategic partners in the Wyler Group. But beyond completing the work on new car, then it's all about a couple of things. Number one, bringing it together with the traditional lead experience so that you have one consumer flow, and you, as a consumer, you go just as far as you want to go. And if you want to complete the deal, you can. If you want to just start it and then finish it in store, you can. And the other big opportunity for us is to take this technology, all this automation we talked about, that drives so much efficiency and improves the consumer experience, and put it in service of those transactions that are happening in store, right? So how do you make the efficiency of the F&I box and the F&I team that much higher, such that can do more deals, they can be more profitable deals, and improve consumer satisfaction?
Sure.
That's really what's on the horizon for us, beyond really putting about this new car capability now.
Sure. Kevin Frye, Marketing Director at Jeff Wyler Automotive Family, and Paulo da Silva, who's the Vice President of Operations for Cox Automotive Ecommerce. He will be a very busy young man here in the next couple of weeks once the story gets out. So thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And thank all of you for joining us here at CBT News. And now we're streaming on Roku TV and Apple TV, so you can check us out right in your living room. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.